Georgetown University has revealed its 2024-2025 supplemental essay prompts. Let's talk about them today. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyouontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyouontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. Georgetown is not, by the way, a member of the Common Application. So when you hear me say there's supplemental essay prompts, I'm not actually referring to a supplement on the Common App. What I'm basically referring to is part 2 of their application. Georgetown traditionally has had a 2-part application. Their basic application is very simple, and then you are invited to complete part 2, which is where you get into the nitty-gritty of producing essays for Georgetown. Georgetown and MIT are basically the 2 big holdouts that have their own applications. They do not, as of the 2024-2025 admission cycle, accept the Common App. That might change in the future, but again, very traditional Georgetown application. The Georgetown PDF application basically looks exactly as it did decades ago. I mean, when I applied to college and I actually was considering applying to Georgetown, it looks almost exactly the same. And I'm not young, or not as young as I used to be. I've been doing this job in college admissions for almost 20 years. So Georgetown is very, traditional in the sense that they keep things similar from year to year, though of course the essay questions have changed, but the actual formatting of their PDF application, which is the preview that you can get a sneak peek of what their online application will look like during the given cycle that you're looking for, basically looks the same as it always has, which is great. It's nice that some institutions have a sense of pride in their tradition. I'm happy to report that Georgetown does. Georgetown's 2024-2025 application will have 2 questions that are very similar, if not exactly the same, to what they've been in recent years. The short essay is as follows: briefly, in approximately 1/2 page, single space, discuss the significance to you of the school or summer activity in which you have been most involved. That most tracks with the often repeated supplemental essay, short essay prompt on the Common App, or for supplements of schools that are members of the Common App, which is like, elaborate on one of your extracurricular activities, do not exceed 150 words or 300 words or 400 words or whatever. Basically, your job in a short little essay like that is to contextualize the significance of a particular extracurricular activity. So this is not your opportunity to just give a laundry list of what you achieved in that activity, but rather to write a little story, a quick little 1/2 page single space story about what that experience has done for you and what you draw or take away from that experience. So it's going to be the meaning behind, the motivation for why you got into it, why you stayed in it, or again, or what you take from it, in a way that will basically underscore your value system to Georgetown, or one element or facet of your value system to Georgetown. So that is an important short essay. Do not discount that. The next one is compose there are actually 2 more essays. Each one is about 1 page single spaced. And the first one is for all applicants. As Georgetown is a diverse community, the admissions committee would like to know more about you in your own words. Please submit a brief personal or creative essay which you feel best describes you and reflects on your personal background and individual experiences, skills, and talents. This essay, in my argument, should be basically a recycling of your Common App essay. If you're applying to multiple Common App schools, if Georgetown is the only school you have eyes for and you're not doing a Common App essay because maybe you're only applying to 1 or 2 other schools that don't take the Common App, this is basically the essay where the spotlight is entirely on you. You do not need to talk about Georgetown in any way, shape, or form in this essay. Can you drop in some information about Georgetown in this essay at the end? I guess you could. You could reformat or sort of rebrand your Common App essay in some way, shape, or form to actually make it more bespoke for Georgetown? Yes, you could. Do you have to? No, you don't, because of what essay the next essay will be asking you to do, which is a highly Georgetown specific response. But if you want to, you can, of course, make your response not just a Common App essay. It can be a Common App essay with a cherry on top of at least a few sentences here or there, connecting the dots for the reader as to why that very interesting story about you it should very much relate to the next 4 years of your life at Georgetown. So you could throw in some Georgetown mentions there. But what I really want to talk about today are the prompts for the school that you're applying to at Georgetown. All students applying to Georgetown as a first-year applicant will, in fact, have to respond to Essay 2, which is another single space, one-page essay, roughly, in terms of full length. And depending on what school you're applying to at Georgetown will determine what you are going to be responding to. Applicants to the College of Arts and Sciences respond to something different than the applicants to the School of Nursing, respond to something different than applicants to the School of Health, respond to something different than applicants to the Walsh School of Foreign Service, and respond to something different than the applicants to the McDonough School of Business. But this year, I think there's finally been sort of a coalescing at Georgetown around the idea of essay prompts that are more streamlined in their language and in their leading nature, if you will, than in previous years where there has been some irregularity to the nature of the prompts and therefore the experience of completing these responses regarding why you want to basically go to Georgetown, depending on what school within the university you're applying to. But this year, we basically have 2 schools talking about being committed, 2 schools talking about their founding principles, and 1 school talking about what they provide. And all this is being done to sort of lead the horse to water, right? Like you can, what is that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's basically Georgetown is trying very hard to lead you as the applicant to water. They can't force you to and make you write a good essay, but they're trying their best because the essay prompts are tighter, more focused, and more leading in nature than ever before. Let me show you what I mean. So the College of Arts and Sciences prompt is as follows. Founded in 1789, the Georgetown College of Arts and Sciences is committed to the Jesuit tradition of an integrated education and of productive research in the natural sciences, humanities, social sciences, and fine arts. Describe your interest in studying at College of Arts and Sciences. Applicants interested in the sciences, mathematics, or languages are encouraged to make specific reference to their choice of major. If you are applying to history, let's say, or some other major that's not one of those others, you can also make reference to your choice of major, but those are particularly encouraged to do so. Georgetown obviously knows that those who are majoring in something else within the College of Arts and Science are probably more apt to be undecided and therefore maybe not as committed to sort of putting their stake in the ground specifically about a major. But you can if you know what you really want within the College of Arts and Science. Notice again how basically the prompt has this leading sentence in the beginning. That's important. That's important for you to understand. Keep that at the top of the page as you type if you are applying to the College of Arts and Science at Georgetown, because it's important that you contextualize your response in the framing that Georgetown wants you to, which is that first sentence, which is this commitment to the Jesuit tradition of an integrated education. So they want you to pair it back to them. How you see yourself aligning with that, at least at some way, in some way, shape, or form during this essay. It doesn't have to be the main focus of the essay you write, because obviously the main focus must be you describing your interest in studying at College of Arts and Sciences. But hopefully it dovetails nicely with the framing, that sort of leading sentence in the first part of the prompt, which again is very similar to the leading sentence in the first part of the nursing prompt. Here's the nursing prompt. Georgetown University School of Nursing is committed. So they're committed, just like the College of Arts and Science is committed to something, but nursing is committed to the formation of ethical, empathetic, and transformational nursing leaders. Empathetic, excuse me. It's early when I'm filming this, so Sometimes I don't speak clearly, I apologize. But describe the factors that have influenced your interest in studying nursing at Georgetown University. So that leading sentence is really important. They want you to frame your response and at least give a hat tip at some point in your response to the fact that the School of Nursing is committed to the formation of ethical, empathetic, and transformational nursing leaders. So I hope at some point in your essay, you are going to come across as being ethical, empathetic, and or a transformational nursing leader, or potentially capable of becoming one. Because in your response, they do, of course, want you to describe the factors that have influenced your interest in studying nursing at Georgetown University, but they hopefully want to see some values alignment, right? So again, in both of these initial prompts for the schools specifically you're applying to at Georgetown, we have this language of is committed. This College of Arts and Science is committed to the Jesuit tradition of blah, blah, blah. The School of Nursing is committed to the formation of blah, blah, blah. Now, let's talk about the School of Health and the Walsh School of Foreign Service, who are both, or which are both, founded to do something. So Georgetown University's School of Health was founded to advance the health and well-being of people locally, nationally, and globally through innovative research, the delivery of interdisciplinary education, and transformative engagement of communities. Describe the factors that influenced your interest in studying health care at Georgetown University, specifically addressing your intended related major, global health, healthcare management and policy, or human science. Again, that first sentence, don't discount it, because they want you to frame your response in a mature, thoughtful way in the context of what the institution school was founded to do. So hopefully your response will intersect with why the university's School of Health was founded in the first place in one way, shape, or form. But you can still, of course, tell and show your own story, and you should. But make sure not to discount the fact that you want to have your MO intersect with Georgetown University School of Health and its MO and its reason for being. Applicants to the School of Foreign Service, Walsh, have sort of the same challenge. Georgetown University's Walsh School of Foreign Service was founded more than a century ago to prepare generations of leaders with the foundational skills to address global issues. Describe your primary motivations for studying international affairs at Georgetown University and dedicating your undergraduate studies toward a future in global service. So I hope, again, that your values intersect with Georgetown's Walsh School of Foreign Service's values, insofar as you want to develop the foundational skills to address global issues, right? Obviously, you have other motivations as well. But you want to at least give a hat tip, again, to this idea that you belong. And these introductory sentences on each of these prompts is very leading. It's right there out in front of you, what you need to do at least at some point in this single-space, one-page essay. Many students don't care. They just look at the prompt one time, and they're like, I'll write an essay about why I want to be a diplomat. And they never look at the prompt again. Look at that prompt. Keep the prompt at the top of the page as you type, and try your very best to show values alignment between you and the school you are applying to at Georgetown. And then finally, the one that's sort of doing its own thing this year is the McDonough School of Business. Georgetown University's McDonough School of Business provides graduates, so this is more transactional, after all, it is a school of business, with essential global, ethical, analytical, financial, and diverse perspectives on the economies of our nation and the world. Describe your primary motivations for studying business at Georgetown University. Wink, wink, nod, nod. God willing, you intersect your response with what McDonough sees itself as being able to provide, which is essential global, ethical, analytical, financial, and diverse perspectives on the economies of the world and, of course, the nation, the United States. So hopefully you will not just go off on some random tangent that talks about you wanting to be the CEO of your own makeup company in 20 years. You can do that in some aspects during the essay, but you should also align it and integrate it with what you want to get out of the Georgetown McDonough School of Business experience that aligns with what the Georgetown McDonough School of Business wants you to get out of it, and wants all of its students to sort of march to the same beat of the same drummer, if you will, at least in terms of being part of a community with a specific ethos and value system, please, regardless of the school you're applying to at Georgetown, take seriously the fact that now all of these prompts have these leading sentences at the beginning that is basically giving you a hint as to some of the content that they want to see parroted back to them, and some of the research you really need to do as you draft in order to make sure that your Georgetown essay response to this essay number 2 resonates with the application readers over at Georgetown. I've spent so much time talking about these because these are the ones that change more year to year at Georgetown. And again, I feel like this year everything is really operating on all cylinders for Georgetown, whereas in other years the essays have been sort of a little more cumbersome, some of the schools. But this year they're all developed in such a way where they have these leading sentences and then the sort of direct question or prompt. And many students will just focus on that second sentence, but I want you to focus on the full prompt for the school within Georgetown that you are applying to knock this one out of the park. But don't get me wrong, the other 2 essays are important too. The one that basically is the rehash or the rebranding potentially of your Common App essay, and the short essay about an extracurricular activity, those are all important too. So do not discount them. If you are not attaching a resume to Georgetown's application, what are you doing? Like, are you serious? Do you want to get in? If you are serious about wanting to go to Georgetown, don't just do the minimum, do the maximum where and when possible. And one of those ways at Georgetown, of course, is to share an extraordinary resume with them. I strongly recommend my How to Build an Extraordinary Resume short course. My How to Build an Extraordinary Extracurricular Resume short course is less than an hour in length, and it's $19. It's such a good deal. And the link to it is included in this video's description. I strongly recommend that if you want to share articulately and in detail what it is you have accomplished throughout your high school career, both during the summers and during the school years, so that Georgetown gets a sense of the objective accomplishments you will be bringing to Georgetown. That also frees you up, by the way, to write more subjectively and emotively in that first short essay, the half-pager, about the meaning behind one of the extracurricular activities in which you engaged. So that's really important. If you don't do an extracurricular resume, you're not going to be as comfortable probably talking about the significance of one of the most of your school or summer activity in which you've been most involved, because you're going to be so busy filling in the blanks of what it is you actually did. Whereas the resume's job is really to share the objective facts of what you actually did, whereas the short essay's objective is to share the meaning, the motivation, the lessons learned, and what you take from it, and why it's worth sharing, and why you keep doing it, or why you did it for so long, and the one you've been most involved in. So keep that in mind. Again, that course is so valuable. It's helped hundreds of students throughout the years, and probably thousands now. I've had it on different platforms. It's currently on Gumroad. The link to it is, again, included in this video's description. I want to also give one more shout out to the fact that I didn't talk at length today about how to get into Georgetown, but there is a video about how to get into Georgetown that I did a couple years ago. That is linked below this video too. So if you want to learn more about my thoughts on just the overall approach to getting into Georgetown, definitely make sure to watch that full video, which was produced a couple of years ago. A lot of it is still extremely valuable, and that's why I recommend it. And finally, I want to share with you that if you are applying to Georgetown and you are about to hit submit, you might want to seriously consider sharing with me a PDF of your entire Georgetown application so that I can give it my pre-read. What is my pre-read, you ask? Well, let's say you have finished your Georgetown app and now you want to know if it's as strong as possible and whether or not in its current condition your chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate. Getting my pre-read now means having me review your entire app, just like an admissions officer at Georgetown or an admissions committee at Georgetown will review it later, and receiving by email, no later than the time you reserve on my website, a comprehensive report highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Georgetown application. If you've already submitted your Georgetown app and you still want my pre-read, it will at least prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at Georgetown. If you have yet to submit your Georgetown app, my pre-read may motivate you to make adjustments to it before your application deadline at Georgetown. If you're interested in learning more about my pre-read, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college application process.